हेलो गाइस व्हाट्स अप वेलकम बैक। और देखो मैं कितना आलसी हूँ, पिछले 2-3 दिन से मैंने अपने मैट्रेस पे बेडशीट भी नहीं डाली। नो आई एम जस्ट किडिंग। मैं एक ही दिन में बार बार टी शर्ट्स चेंज कर करके वीडियोस बना रहा हूँ क्योंकि तुम्हारा भाई अब काम करता है यार, जिसकी वजह से रोज बैठ के वीडियोस बनाना कहीं ना कहीं मुश्किल हो जाता है। बट एनीवे, टुडे वी विल बी चेकिंग आउट रैपर्स that are killers, और ब्रैकेट में लिखा है DaBaby, Tay-K, YNW Melly. So let's find out कि इन तीन के अलावा और कौन से ऐसे रैपर्स हैं जो रियल लाइफ में किलर्स हैं। एंड आई वंडर कि किसी ने ये वीडियो इंडियन रैपर्स पे बनाई है या नहीं। Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot कि ये सिर्फ इंस्टाग्राम पे होता है।
If you're even somewhat familiar with the hip hop scene, you know that true hardcore rappers are really living the lives they rhyme about a lot of the time.
Facts.
Most of them don't tune down their lyrics to seem softer or even try to hide the things they may have actually done. So it's not a surprise that a few of these rappers have gone past the bragging and clout seeking and have committed the serious crime of murder.
Wait, pause. Before we get to the video, मैंने 1.5 दिन पहले I heard about a Mexican rapper who replaced his hair with golden chains. What the fuck? अपने बाल को रिप्लेस कर लिया गोल्डन चेन से। क्यों? Why you did that? This is stupid. This is actually stupid.
Here are a few rappers who are actual killers. DaBaby. He was born Jonathan Lindell Kirk in Cleveland, Ohio. But by the time he was 8 years old, he and his family had moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. He was a pretty regular kid, but like a lot of regular kids, he started showing an interest in life on the street. He's never admitted to joining a gang though. By the end of 2014, a few years after graduating from high school, he expressed an interest in rap and decided to really go for it. He chose his stage name Baby Jesus in 2015, but he didn't want to cause too much controversy and alienate audiences, so he changed it to DaBaby shortly after.
That's a great move. Thank God you did that, bro. That's a great. That's nice. That's great move. I was also thinking, Baby Jesus? What is this?
But his respect for the religious community in the Bible Belt town of Charlotte stopped there, because in 2018, he became a killer. It happened in the fall of that year when the rapper was in Walmart doing a bit of shopping. According to witnesses, a fight broke out between DaBaby and another young man, 19-year-old Jalen Craig. And while two grown men fighting in the produce aisle of a Walmart sounds hilarious, it didn't end well at all. During the scuffle, DaBaby pulled out a gun and shot Jalen. He was wounded and later passed away from the injuries. Kirk was arrested because he was surrounded by witnesses in a public place and was charged with manslaughter. After working with an excellent lawyer, the charges were ultimately dropped about 6 months later. His legal team claimed that the shooting was done in self-defense, as the other man was attempting to rob the rapper. He didn't get off totally clean though. 2 months later, he was found guilty on weapons charges since he didn't have a license to be carrying a concealed weapon in the first place.
Bro, government तुम नहीं बच सकते। एक चीज तुम खुद को पागल भी साबित कर दोगे ना, फिर भी गवर्नमेंट तुम्हें जेल में डाल ही देगी। स्पेशली ऐसे केसेस के लिए ब्रो। अमेरिका में इट्स गन रूल्स अमेरिका में थोड़े हैं जो वरी करते हैं मेरे को क्या सबको करते हैं और काफी ज्यादा वरी करते हैं। बट yeah,
a simple year of probation was all he racked up for that charge. Tay-K. Tamor McIntyre got into rap early on in his life and got serious about—
Wait, what's his real name?
Tay-K. Tamor
McIntyre. Tamon McIntyre. What?
McIntyre got
McIntyre. Tamor McIntyre. Okay.
Got into rap early on in his life and got serious about it pretty fast. To jumpstart his career, he formed a rap group called Daytona Boys in his hometown of Arlington, Texas in 2014. He was only 14 at the time, so it shows some real ambition. The group began recording with a couple of local rappers, Pimpies and Santana Sage, which brought further attention to the young hip-hop group. They started releasing their hip-hop tracks on SoundCloud, but it was pretty obvious that they were just kids and didn't know much about the production part of music making. The songs came off as silly and amateurish, so while locals were listening, they weren't necessarily liking what they heard. Tay got tired of being dragged down by a group that didn't share his ambition and set out on a solo career. He released his first solo in 2015 and hit the sweet spot with fans. The positive attention gave him a boost and he kept working. His most infamous track to date though is The Race.
I like the part where he is just telling us the good things and he is like telling us the every happy story, and then he's gonna switch to the sad story in the end. The build up he's doing for the like main punchline, I like that.
17, which made headlines inside the hip hop community and out of it. But what not a lot of people knew at the time was that it was based on reality and his race away from the authorities after he became a killer. The race technically started back in 2016 when Tay-K and several friends came up with a plan to get cash and drugs. All they were going to do was just rob an acquaintance and that was it, nothing else. So he gets two girls, 19-year-old Megan Holt and 20-year-old Ariana Barat, to go into this guy's house to seduce him. While the guy, Zachary Below, was distracted by the girls, one of them would open the door for Tay and another man. They come in, flash their guns, and take what they wanted. But there's always a hiccup in these plans, and that hiccup's name was Ethan Walker, a friend of Zachary's that Tay and his friends didn't know would be there. So things went south when the robbery turned into a scuffle, and then there were shots fired. The friend Ethan was killed as they fled the apartment.
Oh my god, उस बेचारे दोस्त की देखा है ही होता है, उस बेचारे वो फ्री में ही ऐसे ही रगड़ा गया भाई, वो oh man, sad, it's sad.
When Tay was caught and put on house arrest to wait for his hearing, he decided that didn't sound like much fun and he'd rather head off. So just days before his hearing, he cut off his ankle monitor and ran for it. He even tweeted about going on the run.
Fuck this house arrest shit, fuck 12, they gonna have to catch me on the hood. Oh my god, this is savage.
He headed to San Antonio and made it all the way to New Jersey before he was caught by the police and sent to Texas. And unfortunately for him, being 16 years old at the time for the murder didn't get him any breaks. He's still gonna be tried as an adult. YNW Melly.
I know
Jamel
about
Demon.
this guy, bro. This guy made, अगर तुम्हें पता है इसके बारे में, this guy made a song about killing his friends and he actually did it. वो बाद में जाके पता चला he actually did it.
Better known as YNW Melly, is probably one of the most controversial rappers in the last few years. He's barely at the legal drinking age and has seen more than a lot of people do in their whole lifetimes. He was raised mostly by his young single mother, who had him during her freshman year of high school at just 14 years old. Being a teen mom isn't easy.
America is moving mad. 14 years old.
She struggled to provide for her and her kid.
तो struggle तो करेगी. She's just 14-year-old. Come on, yaar. What is the legal age in America to get married? I want to search that. Hey Alexa, what is the legal age in America to get married?
Here's something I found on the web. According to wikipedia.org, the marriage age is 18.
18 in America, but she was 14. Oh god. And if you count the 9 months,
because she was working so much and was away from the home most of the time, Jamel started hanging out more and more on the streets. When he was in his early teens, he joined up with the Bloods looking for some kind of family stability. But as we see over and over, joining the gang hardly ever leads to a good life.
Facts.
And Melly's experience was no different. He started messing around with drugs and guns, and before long, he was getting into real trouble. First, when he was just 16, he was arrested for shooting a gun towards a bunch of people near Vero Beach High School. He was supposedly aiming at 3 people, students at the high school.
What?
No one was hurt, and he got off with charges of aggravated assault and discharging a firearm in a public place. It earned him a year in jail, where he wrote his famous "Murder on My Mind" after some inmates encouraged him.
there you go. There comes the there comes the main point. तो उसने ये गाना जेल में लिखा, उसके बाद बाहर आके उसको रिलीज किया, but later on everybody, सबको पता चला कि he actually killed his friends. मतलब 1 साल he spent 1 year in jail, और उसके बाद भी उसको कुछ अकल नहीं आई कि like
His famous "Murder on My Mind" after some inmates encouraged him. But the real turning point in Melly's criminal history appeared in October of 2018. The way Melly told it, he was out with some friends, YNW Juvie, YNW Sack Chaser, and YNW Portland, driving around town when another car pulled up to their right and started shooting into the vehicle. Portland was unhurt, so he drove Juvie and Sack Chaser to the emergency room where they were pronounced dead. From the beginning, Melly said he wasn't even in the car during the shootout. After investigation though, it was obvious that things didn't go down the way Melly said. First of all, there was no way that the bullets could have come from the right side of the vehicle where Bortland said the other car was. Each victim was shot in the head from the left. Surveillance footage shows all
There you go. You messed up, bro. There you go. अगर उनको लेफ्ट से लगा है तो राइट साइड से okay.
four of them getting into the car together, with none other than Melly himself sitting in the left rear passenger seat. Plus, phone GPS records show that Melly was with them at the time of the shooting and that they drove around with the dead bodies of their friends in the car for a while as they tried to figure out what to do. In February of 2019, Melly was arrested on 2 counts of first-degree murder. He's hanging out in jail while he awaits trial.
I love like how my man just casually said he's hanging around in the jail. But what is going on in America? What is going on? और ये अब से नहीं है, ये बहुत पहले से ये चीजें हैं. हमारे इंडिया में रैपर्स फाड़ देंगे, मार देंगे, ये कर देंगे. ब्रो रहने दो, नहीं, मत करो भी मत और तुमसे होगा भी नहीं. That's what I'm saying. मत करो, तुमसे होगा भी नहीं. Right? So that was it. Let me know how you guys felt about the video. आपका क्या point of views है, क्या opinions है इस चीज को लेके. If you liked the video, please give me a like or maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Take care. Peace.